In April 2013, the Volusia County Sheriff's Office received a report about a missing man, 36-year-old James Sheaffer. His family last saw him on April 2, 2013. During the investigation, the authorities found the shocking truth about his neighbor, Angela Stoldt, who was suspected of his murder. Angela Stoldt was born to a military family in Bangkok, Thailand, on April 7, 1972. She had issues making friends during her childhood due to her reserved nature. She even struggled to bond with her older sister, Esther, who looked after her when their parents used to be away. During her teenage years, her family relocated to Delton, Florida, after her father's retirement. At the age of 15, Angela got married, but claimed to have been tortured by her husband. She got divorced and got married again at the age of 20. She gave birth to her first child, but suffered from an anxiety disorder, depression, and other mental health issues. Later, her husband left her. She was left with her child and struggled to survive financially after that. Looking for financial support, Angela got married again when she was 25. She gave birth to her second daughter from this marriage, and they relocated to Volusia County, Florida. Angela started experiencing panic attacks due to low thyroid hormone levels and stronger medications. Despite these challenges, she continued her relationship with her family and even began socializing with neighbors. But later on, her husband left her. She was now left alone to take care of her children. Angela repeatedly requested financial help from her family, but the money was insufficient to raise her children. In October 2012, her neighbor, James Sheaffer, helped her. He was working as a driver for Diamond Limousine in Deltona and was dating Candy Medina for 17 years. Candy had one child from a previous relationship and 2 more with James, who was around the same age as Angela's 2 children. James gave Angela a financial deal to open a joint account with him as a beneficiary. His disability payments were used to get credited to his account, and she was told to receive $100 to cover expenses. Initially hesitant, Angela agreed. However, later on, James started to withdraw the money from the account without Angela's permission, which worsened her financial condition. One day, the Social Security Disability Payments Organization withheld some of James's payments. He faced severe financial problems and needed money to clear the debts, including several months' rent for his home. So, James pushed Angela to borrow $4,000 from his sick father despite her hesitation.
He wanted me to ask my dad for a lot of money, and I told him my dad would be willing to consider it.
By April 2013, Angela stopped the check cashing agreement. On April 3, 2013, James didn't return from home and even missed important work commitments. Candy got concerned when her 16-year-old son, Tyler, received text messages from James, claiming he had disappeared intentionally due to the debt burden. She called the police, and James was reported missing. The authorities began the investigation and circulated James's information and details. Investigators were successful in locating James's work van. During the investigation, one of his colleagues, John, informed investigators that he saw James entering a black car around 3 a.m. on the day he went missing. He also mentioned James being addicted to gambling, resulting in substantial debts. The investigators inspected places he had been during his final trip, but no clue was found. At last, they concluded that James wasn't missing, but hiding because of the overdue debt. On April 21, 2013, Esther called 911. She claimed that Angela had confessed to a crime and was attempting to harm herself. Angela was quickly taken, and she underwent a mental health evaluation. Meanwhile, investigators searched her home and found odd things in a messy home, indicating a horrible act. Upon asking authorities about James, Angela refused to know him. At first, she said she helped James with finances.
I always just wanted to help him.
Right.
I tried to get his financial situation straightened out, but he's always stealing money from somebody and needing money for this, that, and the other.
Later, she claimed to have seen James on April 5, 2013.
When's the last time you seen him? Recently?
I can't remember the day.
2 days ago?
No.
How long ago?
A week and a half.
Even though his girlfriend and family hadn't seen him since April 2, 2013. With these statements, the authorities got suspicious about her involvement in James's disappearance. After multiple interrogations, Angela finally confessed to the murder. Angela said she used James's Social Security disability payments, starting at $1,230. She added James was forcing her to borrow money from her father so that he could clear his dues.
He wanted me to ask my father, my dying father, for $2,000 to cover his thing, his rent. Yes.
Okay.
On April 3, 2013, she picked James up from work and went to Osteen Cemetery, where James asked about the money again. When Angela refused to help, he threatened to murder her and her children.
And did he say anything?
He said he was going to kill me.
Okay.
I'm going to kill you.
In self-defense and fearing for her children's life, she killed James.
Like I said, I stabbed him, and he just kept coming at me.
What'd you stab him with?
He kept coming at me, so that's when I grabbed the thing and I wrapped it around his throat. I put my feet up like that, and I pulled and I pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled until he stopped.
Following her confession, Angela took investigators to a place in Volusia County where she dumped James's phone and ID. In a wooded area near Osteen, the investigators discovered James's remains in the trash bags, and DNA reports confirmed the identification. Angela faced charges of second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and damaging a corpse. She was arrested without bail. The case proceeded to trial on December 1, 2014. During the trial, a different story was revealed. Angela's sister and daughter stood as witnesses and stated that she confessed to drugging and murdering James. On the evening of April 3, 2013, James visited Angela's house. After Angela's children went to sleep, Angela and James had drinks and discussed finances in the kitchen. Angela spiked James's drink with painkillers, despite being aware of its effects. James started to feel dizzy. Angela then took him to a nearby cemetery. She disclosed canceling check cashing arrangements, which made James angry. Angela took an ice axe from her car and hit James in the eye. She then choked him with a rope until he was unconscious. Finally, she stabbed him in the other eye and ended his life. Angela wrapped his corpse in plastic, took it home, and then cut it into pieces. Putting his arms, legs, and head in one baby pool and his head in another, she then went to bed.
I got some salt and I poured it into the pool, and I started backing up and putting the parts in the salt.
The next day, she tried to burn the remains in the stove and oven.
What did you say? What did you do? How did you make them? How did you reduce them?
Well, I was going to try to cook it. Cremate it. Give him purple.
She disposed of some of his body parts in trash bags in nearby woods. She lied to her children that she was disposing of a deer's corpse. After the revelation that Angela was misleading the investigators and tampering with the crime scene, the charges shifted to first-degree murder.
Angela Stoldt is accused of strangling her neighbor, stabbing him with an ice pick, then dismembering the body. She was initially charged with second-degree murder, but a grand jury has now indicted her on first-degree charges.
Angela stated in the court that she killed James in self-defense. She was scared for her children's lives. Angela's defense attorneys also argued against the charges. They said James knew about the pills, and she didn't mean to kill him, but was trying to protect her children from James. The trial ended on December 5, 2014. The jury deliberated for nearly 3 hours and found her guilty of first-degree murder, as well as damaging a corpse and tampering with physical evidence. Angela got a life sentence with no possibility of release, an additional 15 years imprisonment for damaging a corpse, and another 5 years for tampering with physical evidence. She is currently held at Volusia County Jail, Florida.